Hi folks, this is David Duncan, President of the American Battlefield Trust, coming to you today from the Bronner Farm on the Manassas National Battlefield Park. I'm joined today by a very special guest, Mr. Chap Peterson. Most important to us today is Chap is our lawyer, and Chap is helping us and some local landowners here take on the development that would really impact the landscape that you see behind me in very detrimental ways, and that is the Prince William Digital Gateway that has been proposed. The data center development that is envisioned for the land behind us would be, without a doubt, the largest data center development, not just in Prince William County, Virginia, not just in the Commonwealth of Virginia, not just in the United States, would be the largest data center development on planet Earth. Sprawling over what's envisioned to be something near 1,700 acres, which is about a third of the size of this existing Manassas Battlefield Park. 37, I think, buildings that are envisioned, some 60 to 100 feet high, all of them with scores of air conditioning compressors on their roofs, generating noise, using power, using water 24 hours a day. And we believe detrimentally impacting this very, very important cultural resource here, the battlefield at Manassas. So I'd like to turn it over to Chap, and he can tell us a little bit more about what we're trying to do here.
Well, thank you. Thank you, David, and it's an honor to be here. I'm Chap Peterson. I'm a Virginia attorney, and I did serve in the Virginia State Senate and the House of Delegates. Over my left shoulder is Bronner Farm, which was the site of the battle as it began at 2nd Manassas, with Stonewall Jackson and his Confederate forces to my left, and the Iron Brigade and the Union Army to my right. This is where they first joined the battle. Over my left shoulder will also be about 2,000 acres of data centers, which will be built out if this project goes forward over the next couple years. It would be a massive development. It would dwarf anything that's been built like that before. It would totally overwhelm the landscape, which of course is one of the most sacred landscapes in American history. That's the historic background. I'm a lawyer. We have filed suit to stop this development. The basis for our suit is not just the fact that the project is a bad idea, a bad land use idea, but also the fact that the Prince William County Board of Supervisors violated many of their own state and local ordinances when they rushed to get this project done. And they did rush to get it done because the voters had turned some of them out, frankly, in disgust at what had happened. And in the elections in 2023, certain incumbents were not reelected. And as a result, they rushed to get this project approved before they lost their office on December 31st. In fact, they approved it at the final public hearing in December. And in doing so, they violated multiple county ordinances as well as state laws regarding notice, the requirement to get a special use permit, the required to actually delineate the zones and the substations and all the power facilities. And basically, just in general, they cut corners. And we're fighting a good fight. We're up against some of the largest corporations in the world. And I want to thank you, our donors. I want to thank David. I want to thank the courageous landowners that, as individuals, have joined with us. This is a David versus Goliath contest, no doubt about it. We're going to get outspent probably 10 to 1, maybe 50 to 1. But at the end of the day, we're kind of like the Spartans at Thermopylae. We're going to stand in the gap and we're going to fight. And we've got the law on our side. We've got the facts on our side. And with your resources, we'll be able to bring that to bear and win this case.
We as an organization, the American Battlefield Trust, we are not anti-development. We're not even anti-data center. If the citizens of Prince William County and other counties want to bring these entities into their county for revenue sources or whatever reasons, that's completely up to them. But there are appropriate places for these types of development, and literally adjacent to a threatened national park, which Manassas actually is. You can't tell right now from this beautiful bucolic scene, but there is development around the perimeter of this park on every point of the compass. And every year it edges closer and closer and closer. We all know that we need data centers, just not here. whenever we have asked, you have been very, very generous in your support, and we're so very grateful for that. Again, I'd much rather be spending your hard-earned money that you send to us, and we need to be good stewards of that money. I'd much rather spend that money on buying and preserving more battlefield land. But sometimes we have to fight. And I think the Thermopylae example, Chip, is a great one. You know, the state goes in the ground and say they shall not pass.
That's actually Verdun, but I like it.
Okay,
Go with it. Go with it.
Well, yeah, we'll take it. We'll
Yeah.
use it, whatever it takes. We've seen this movie before. Just want to reiterate that. I think it was 1957, so even before I was born. The thought was when Interstate 66, which is not far to the south of us here, was being envisioned, the first proposal was to have it run right through the middle of the park, where current day Route 29 goes. So if you can imagine what is now Interstate 66 is a 10-lane major interstate running through the middle of a battlefield park. That, of course, was eventually defeated and it was moved to the south of the park. Then a little bit later on in the 70s, the Marriott Corporation, again, not very far from here, just a short cannon shot away, wanted to build an amusement amusement park. I think it was called Great America. Then in the 80s at Stewart's Hill, Lee's Hill, again, a shopping mall was envisioned. And Congress had to pay $135 million for a 542-acre piece of ground to keep it from being developed. Of course, not far away from here, the Disney company in the 90s envisioned building another history theme park. I always wondered how many people they expected to come to an outdoor history theme park in January and February here in Northern Virginia, but in any case, that was defeated as well. Today, I don't know of anyone anywhere who thinks that any of those developments would have been a good idea or would have been the best thing for this park. So if we're talking about a 1,700-acre data center development, I can't imagine anybody 30 or 40 years from now will look back and say, that was a great idea. Boy, I'm sure glad they did that. I think it will be just another chapter in that long story of preservation here at Manassas, preserving these incredible hallowed grounds for all future generations. That's what I hope we'll be able to do with this lawsuit that we're filing right now with CHAP's help. Folks, as I've said before, believe me, I would much rather use the generous donations that you send to the American Battlefield Trust to save battlefield land and do education programs, both of which are desperately needed parts of our mission. But I need your help to continue the legal fight here to stop the Prince William Digital Gateway. Again, the 1,700-acre data center development that's envisioned for the land immediately behind me. If you can imagine that tree line devastated and buildings anywhere from 60 to 100 feet tall, windowless, concrete, monoliths, stretching literally as far as you can see to the north on the land behind me. Legal battles are expensive. I think you all understand that. But we have to do this. We have to fight this in order to do the best we can to preserve this part of the Manassas battlefield for future generations. If we don't fight with everything we have right here and right now, this part of Manassas is going to be compromised probably forever. To the extent you can help us with a generous contribution today, I would be in your debt. And I hope then at some point you'll be able to come back out here to Manassas and enjoy this part of the battlefield. Thank you.
Hello, this is Trace Atkins. To stay up to date on all the latest and coolest videos, please subscribe to the Trust's YouTube channel. Preserve, educate, inspire.